right, good morning folks. This is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and today we're getting ready to start day 2 of our overland adventure that we started yesterday with Donald with Soft-Roading the West. If you followed along in the last video, you know that we started off from the Juntura Hot Springs and we moved up into the mountains where we ran into some issue with the fact that it was raining, causing everything to be muddy and caking up our tires and creating some slick conditions that in some of the sections was a bit concerning. We did eventually get to this nice camp spot, and we knocked off a little bit early, and we just enjoyed a relaxing evening by the campfire and some basic dinners, and just had a good simple evening at camp. This morning things are looking a little bit better. It's showing some clearing, and the weather report does say that we have a much less chance of rain, so we're hoping that the roads will be a little bit drier and it'll be a little easier travel today. But Donald's starting to get his camp all set up, and I'm just having a quick breakfast. Yesterday I had some eggs and sausage, and that was great, but I totally forgot to get out some more sausage out of the freezer yesterday. I did get some dinner items out that we'll maybe cook tonight, but I forgot to get more breakfast items, so I'll have to do that. I'll have to do that after I get done here. But we are just gonna have a quick breakfast, just some jerky, some little muffins that I have, and sometimes that's just the way it is. But yeah, it looks like Donald's just about packed up. I didn't set anything up on the van, so I think we're gonna go ahead and hit the road. Well, so far the conditions haven't been too bad to start off this morning. It's actually been really cold, and it's a little bit frozen, which is helping a little bit. I can tell it's starting to thaw a little, and it's a little bit slick, but not nearly as bad as yesterday. And we are starting to get some sun coming out, so I think it's just going to be a better day all the way around. So I think our travels today are going to be pretty nice, and it looks like we're going to have some pretty amazing views along the way. Tell you what, the views don't disappoint.
Yeah, for sure. It's really turning out way better than I expected.
Yeah, it's just big country, you know, different than the Oahe, but, you know, big still like the Oahe.
Yeah.
All right, so one thing that's actually become pretty clear to me is you probably want to really check the hunting and fishing regulations before you decide to do a route like this or go into an area, because it is elk season. We figured that out yesterday after we talked to a hunter that's working the area. And one of the challenges is finding camp spots. We did get lucky, you know, last night and find that really nice spot, but it's clear to me right now that a lot of the good spots are taken. We've passed several big elk camps as we've gone through here. So, you know, if you're trying to come through an area like this, you might find it challenging to find a good spot to camp, just because there are quite a few guys out here enjoying the hunting season right now. All right, so we're just stopped here a minute, going through an area right now that is just amazing. It's wide open plains land, and you can see some mountains off in the distance. But with the low cloud cover and everything, it's just stunning. And
Beautiful out here.
And as you could just hear Donald say, it is beautiful out here. So anyhow, yeah, this trip has turned out to be a lot better than we originally had thought. And we thought that, after coming out of the Oahe, that maybe this would be a little bit of a downer, but man, I just tell you what, this has just been incredible. So yeah, you just really got to put the rubber on the dirt and get out and check out places, because just looking at stuff through satellite images doesn't necessarily give you the complete picture of what is actually out here. All right, folks, well, we've decided to make a stop here. We're going to take a moment and have some lunch. We've actually run into a little bit of a hitch in our route. There's a section of the route that looks like it's going to go through a pretty large section of private land. And when we're building these routes or trying to figure them out, we don't ever like to go through private land. Even if there's an easement, we'd like to avoid that if possible and try to keep the route completely on public land. We've looked over the maps quickly as it is, but we feel like we just need more time. One of the other concerns we're having right now is fuel. We're both, starting to run into the bottom half of our tanks. We still have our spare fuel, but if we were to get down into a spot and it turns out that it wasn't passable and we had to make a big loop around, that could be a big problem. So at this point, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna stop. We're just gonna have some lunch. We're gonna take a little bit of time because it's the middle of the day right now. We still got a lot of daylight left, and we're going to have a little something to eat and then get my computer out and really take some time to dive into the map and see if we can find a solution to this route. So, and if we can't, or if we can, we may just decide at this point to run into the nearest town we can find and fuel up, and then reapproach the route from a different angle and see if we can work out this issue. So that's where we're at right now. We'll just kind of see how things go after we get done eating and looking at maps.
Is that if we go to Harper and then confirm there's gas, but then actually go fuel up in Vale, and then I didn't hate your idea of going up and trying to poke at it from the north to see how far in there we could get.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying, is if we got, granted, like I said, fuel in Harper could be expensive. We confirmed it's there, but like if we came straight back up, then we could verify this last little stretch here.
I'm fine with that too.
And then just for the rest of our trip, continue on like we had originally planned onto this other parts of the route. And just see what that's about. All right, so here's what we ultimately decided to do after having some lunch and looking over maps and everything. We decided that this route, as awesome as it was turning out to be, really isn't gonna make sense. It's an awesome area, and we're both extremely happy that we've taken the time to explore it, and both actually look forward to coming back into this area and just exploring some of the offshoots, because there's still a lot of area here that you could explore, but as a like A to B route, it's not really going to work out or meld well with what we've already created in past adventures. We're going to head out to town, and we found a route that should get us back to town, and we're going to get fuel, and then we've looked at the maps, and we're going to reroute and try to continue on, but we're going to approach it from a different angle and see if we can make something else work, and we're going to start working on that tomorrow.